It might not be Governor Youngkin's favorite topic, but it's a favorite of Democrats, more so because they think it's a way to get under his skin and that of other high-profile Republicans. That topic, President Trump's aggressive effort to shrink the federal government to eliminate thousands of jobs. This is a big deal in Virginia and has huge implications for the state's economy. With 145,000 workers, Virginia is second only to California in federal employment. 30% of the economy is attributed to spending by Virginia's rich Uncle Sam on the other side of the Potomac River. Youngkin stands with Trump in his promise to cut the federal payroll. The governor says there's plenty of work in the private sector so that Virginians who lose their federal jobs and still want to work shouldn't be unemployed too long. To Democrats, this is Youngkin's way of saying, let them eat cake, that it shows Youngkin is out of touch with ordinary people, that he lacks empathy. Democrats are betting this will pay off politically, that it will help them in November win back the governorship and hold the House of Delegates. Don Scott, the Democratic Speaker of the House, has announced a special study of the Trump downsizing push and what it could mean for Virginia's economy and workforce. It'll report its findings and recommendations to the legislature after the election. The study is just one way of keeping the employment issue and economic insecurity at full boil during this important political season. But one feature of the study is easily overlooked. The delegates selected by Scott for this enterprise are Democrats and Republicans. That should tell you two things. First, that even Republicans are nervous about what Trump has in mind and what it augurs for the state's economy and their political fortunes. Second, that these Republicans, if only in a small way, are breaking with Youngkin for the virtual lame duck he is. A little bit of independence could go a long way this fall. Virginia has suffered before because of dramatic cuts in federal spending and employment. For instance, about a decade ago, during the McAuliffe administration, across-the-board spending cuts in Washington, forced by a budget standoff, further slowed Virginia's recovery from the Great Recession of 2008. That Virginia's political class is quarreling over the state's hefty slice of the federal budgetary pie is a reminder of how things have changed. It was an article of faith that a Virginia politician would decry the spending excesses of Washington, depicting the federal government as fiscally irresponsible. After all, balanced budgets and an abhorrence of debt were defining features of Virginia, that it could always be trusted with a buck. But the same Pauls who complain about DC's out-of-control spending were the first ones to defend spending that helped their constituents, such as those giant military appropriations or the billions that went to highway construction. Hypocrisy? Think of it this way. Hypocrisy is a synonym for politics. For the Richmond Times-Dispatch, this is Jeff Shapiro.